Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good afternoon to you guys all out there, wherever you are. On the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, the games are already on. In the Premier League, some games are already taking place right now as we speak. But well, the scorelines are not yet in. So a quick one. Yes, quick one before we go to watch the games or to continue to watch the games. Gyökeres scores a hat-trick for Sporting last night. A hat-trick from Gyökeres. Gyökeres fans, I am bringing this for you guys. A hat-trick. Yes, it's now 47 goals in 46 games for Gyökeres. This season alone, 47 goals in 46 games. This season for Gyökeres. 58 GA, my goodness, total for the Swedish striker. Don't you think he's the best fit if we are to move forward? My goodness. Now let's come back home. Jadon Sancho. Yes, Jadon Sancho. We've not spoken much about him of late. Though some weeks back we've been talking a lot about Jadon Sancho, and when the issues came out whether Chelsea was going to pay a penalty and let him go back to United, or we're going to pay the 25 million pounds and buy him. For me, in the last 2-3 weeks, I think he's been one of our standing players. He's been one of our standing players. Listen, Jadon Sancho, as we speak, right now, 10 assists this season for Jadon Sancho. He's given 10 assists in this season. You know? And even in our last game, he gave one more assist. 5 assists in the Premier League and 5 in the Conference League. Plus 3 goals. It's not a bad return. 5 assists in the Premier League, 5 assists in the Conference League, and then 3 goals scored this season. It's not a bad return. And if he will accept and agree to be a squad player, why not? I think in the past 2-3 weeks, we are beginning to see him. You saw the brilliant goal he scored last week from nowhere, when no one even expected it. Yeah, that is why I said we've not been speaking much about him of late. When he is beginning to deliver, we don't talk much about him. It's rather unfortunate. But I think Jadon Sancho has to stay with Chelsea next season. He needs to stay next season. Ladies and gentlemen, Strasbourg head coach, yes, Liam Rosenau, talking about his squad. And when I compare Strasbourg to Chelsea, Strasbourg is like a leftover from Chelsea is what we are giving them. Yet, they are performing better than we are performing. They are performing better than we are performing. And listen to what the head coach said about the entire squad. He said, I think I've got 18 different nationalities. 18 different nationalities means that the players in Strasbourg, they are from 18 different countries. Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Brazil. 18 different nationalities, ladies and gentlemen. Yet, listen, he said, I think I have 18 different nationalities in the group, but they are so together. And you see the way they celebrate together. They enjoy each other's company. And that's what football is all about. So I think for me, you've got to allow people to be their true, authentic self. This is Liam Rosenau speaking. He says, I think for me, you've got to allow people to be their true, authentic selves. They are a great group to work with. I'm really enjoying every moment of being with them. Apart from our motivation, I think, is to make sure that this group can stay together and achieve more in the future. this group can stay together and achieve more in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know why I love this statement? Why I'm reading this for you? When players are enjoying themselves, they deliver. When they are not enjoying, it simply means that they are not happy. Strasbourg players, they are from 18 different nationalities, 18 countries, yet they are enjoying as a group. And that is why the results are showing. And the coach can attest to it. The only thing is that he is hoping that this squad will stay together for long so that they can achieve more together and win together. But unfortunately, next season, Andrew Santos and Isabella also, they are coming to Chelsea. And Santos, we know, is the mainstay of that their midfield. I think a few days ago, I read an article about Strasbourg, one Strasbourg fan. Or is he the deputy assistant director? I read it somewhere. And the person was like, Chelsea are using them to, you know, it's like Chelsea just using Strasbourg to build their squad. We nurture them, then Chelsea will come for it. We nurture like a nursery. the way the person puts it, I'm like, oh, it's true. Oh. We are only using Strasbourg. The players that we thought we need them to develop, we send them to Strasbourg to develop, means that we don't have a plan for Strasbourg to win trophies. They have become like Chelsea Academy. My goodness. Anyway, that is coming from... you see, so for me, it is what it is. It is what it is. Dear friends, quickly, before I let you go, Enzo Maresca has confirmed Romeo Lavia will be available for tomorrow. Yes, Romeo Lavia is in contention for tomorrow's game, to feature in tomorrow's game against West London neighbors, Fulham. West London neighbors, Fulham. It's the shortest trip, you know, through in every season. So long as Fulham is in the league, it's the shortest trip for Chelsea. Yes, in England. It's just nearby. Oh yes, it is the shortest trip. Just nearby. So tomorrow, Chelsea, Fulham, the shortest trip, and we understand Romeo Lavia likely or is available, is in contention to feature in Chelsea's game tomorrow against Everton. Ladies and gentlemen, now the referee that will be in charge of the game tomorrow is Anthony Taylor, as usual. If you count, in every 2-3 games, the next is always Anthony Taylor. Referee Anthony Taylor will be in charge. As you can see him there with the bald hair like my own. He's the one in charge of tomorrow's game against Everton. Ladies and gentlemen. And in the VAR room will be Andy Madley. Andy Madley will be the one in charge of the VAR room. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, Maresca, speaking to Chelsea press today, has this to say. Oh, okay. Let me just leave that aside. Let me just put it. Okay. He said, losing at home to Legia was not a good night. But when you are 3-0 up and focus on Champions League sport with some players not in the best moment, it can happen. These kind of games, Chelsea are convinced. And in fact, this is not coming from Maresca, but coming from Chelsea sources within. That Chelsea are convinced that Maresca is the man to go into the future with. Chelsea hierarchy believe that the circumstances that led to Chelsea losing to Legia Warsaw was because the focus was much more on tomorrow's game. Because we were already 3-0 up. 3-0 up in Poland. So coming back home, the idea was to keep players like Enzo Fernandez, Moise Caicedo, Levi Colwill, reserve them, and bring in Noni Madueke in the second half. Yes, players like Noni Madueke, Pedro in the second half, to give them some minutes, so that they will not be so much, just to freshen them up. for the games ahead, especially as we are fighting for Champions League position. So they are not putting the blame solely on Enzo Maresca for the loss against Legia Warsaw. They understand the situation, and therefore Chelsea still believe that Maresca is the future of this club. Maresca is the future of this club. Ladies and gentlemen, quickly. Maresca was asked, this is what I was looking for to tell you earlier on. Maresca was asked a simple question by Chelsea Press today. Let me tell you what he said. Can you achieve top 5 targets if Nicolas Williams and Cole Palmer don't start scoring goals? Simple question he was asked. Can you achieve top 5 targets? That's for the Champions League next season. If Nicolas Williams and Cole Palmer don't start scoring goals, listen to the answer he gave. He said, no. Is it as simple as that to score goals? That was the next question. He said, Maresca answered, yes. He said, yes. Let me take it again for you to understand. Can you achieve top 5 targets if Nicolas Jackson and Cole Palmer don't start scoring goals? He answered no. Then they asked him again, is it as simple as that? The answer no. Is it as simple as that? Then he said yes. Means that minus Cole Palmer and Nicolas Jackson, Chelsea will be in trouble. According to our head coach. Minus Cole Palmer and Jackson, top 5 or Champions League football is over. Can never be achieved by Chelsea. This is what our head coach has said to us. So, it is what it is. Means that these 2 players are the mainstay in this setup. I am not too sure if Maresca